From the desks of the world's most influential newsrooms, from the center of global powers, you're stepping into the briefing room of records, where the authority of legacy print collides with the velocity of the digital age, markets shifting, mandates tightening, headlines sprinting faster than the analysts chasing them, decoding the lead lines, auditing the data, and pulling the truth out of the fine print. This is the Breeze Front Page, your daily audit of the stories that matter, with Jim Lee Cooper and Rosa McQueen, defining the world in a few minutes.
Live from the heart of the global newsstand. Good morning, good morning. The Breeze Front Page starts right now.
A massive session ahead. Surge in the east, volatility in the west. The narrative is shifting fast.
A lot to get through, Rosa. Let's get straight to the fold. A date is set for US President Donald Trump's trip to China. Officials present it as a constructive step. But the visit begins March 31st and will mark his first return to the country since taking office for a second term.
Gunmen on motorcycles have killed at least 50 people in northwest Nigeria, a lawmaker says. Officials describe it as an ongoing security challenge. The death toll is still rising as families compile lists of the missing after the latest attack by armed groups terrorizing rural communities.
Indonesia, Morocco, and Kosovo are among 5 countries set to send troops under the Gaza Plan. Officials describe it as a coordinated international effort. But Kazakhstan and Kosovo have also pledged participation, while Egypt and Jordan will train police forces as the framework slowly takes shape.
Israel is blocking most Palestinians from attending Ramadan Friday prayers at Al-Aqsa. Authorities frame it as a security measure. But only 10,000 West Bank Palestinians will be allowed in, a fraction of the hundreds of thousands who typically worship there, tightening access as tensions run high.
The new QuitGPT campaign is urging users to cancel their ChatGPT subscriptions. Organizers frame it as a pushback against political entanglements. But they say backlash over ICE-related partnerships is fueling a broader protest movement against AI companies' ties to the Trump administration.
The Pixel 10a and Soundcore Space One headline some of the week's best tech deals. Retailers call it early season momentum. But from phones to headphones, major discounts are landing across categories as sellers push aggressive offers.
Tesla has rolled out a cheaper $60,000 Cybertruck, but it's still very much a Cybertruck. Fans call it a needed price correction. But the new AWB model undercuts earlier versions and lands alongside a $15,000 cut for the Cyberbeast, as Tesla scrambles to revive sluggish demand.
Microsoft is pushing a new plan to verify what's real and what's AI online. Supporters call it a roadmap for digital trust. The proposal urges social media and AI companies to adopt strict authentication standards, even as Microsoft hasn't committed to following all of its own recommendations.
Trump slams the Supreme Court's ruling and vows new 10% tariffs. A 6-3 decision striking down his global duties now fuels an even broader trade threat. A fresh escalation in a long-running fight over presidential tariff power. The Supreme Court just gutted the administration's trade pillar. A 6-3 ruling says the White House can't use emergency powers to tax the world, effectively killing the Liberation Day duties.
It's a massive constitutional check. Roberts and even 2 Trump appointees, Gorsuch and Barrett, ruled that the power to tax belongs to Congress, not the Oval Office. Now the Treasury is staring at a $100 billion refund nightmare.
Trump isn't backing down. He's already calling the justices a disgrace and pivoting to Section 122, vowing a new 10% global floor that he claims is bulletproof for at least 150 days.
He's essentially dare calling the court to stop him again. It's no longer just a trade war, it's a direct confrontation with the separation of powers.
Let's get back to the fold.
12 Palestine action activists have been granted bail. Supporters call it a step toward justice. The group includes 4 hunger strikers, Toita Hoxha, Kamran Ahmed, Kesser Zura, and Hiba Marazi, as the case against the anti-arms trade campaigners moves forward.
A bus carrying Chinese tourists has crashed through ice on Russia's Lake Baikal, killing 8. Authorities call it a tragic accident. But a criminal investigation is underway amid reports the tour was run by an unregistered operator, raising fresh questions about safety oversight.
Can China find a market for its new J-35 stealth fighter? Supporters tout it as a next-gen rival. But analysts say demand is unclear as the jet faces stiff competition from the US F-35 and cheaper alternatives already crowding the field.
The first human test of a rejuvenation method is set to begin shortly. Researchers call it a milestone for regenerative medicine. But Life Biosciences will trial powerful cellular reprogramming technology on volunteers in an effort to treat blindness, a major step toward next-gen therapies.
The EU is barring Chinese organizations from critical tech programs, including AI and chips. Brussels frames it as protecting strategic innovation. Beijing-based scientist Wu Ji says the move is unlikely to hurt China much, and may instead make Europe look more isolated as the tech race hardens.
CCTV captures a dog trained to dump rubbish. On Sicilian roads, police say the owner weaponized his pet for fly tipping as illegal dumping surges in Catania. A bizarre scheme that's now landed the man under investigation. Catania police just dropped the tape. A Sicilian man caught on CCTV using his own dog to drag bags of construction debris onto the roadside.
It's a new low for fly tipping. Training a pet to bypass illegal dumping sensors, the owner's facing heavy fines. But the dog is the one losing its home to a shelter.
Catania's trash crisis is hitting a breaking point, and now the local council is deploying thermal drones to catch the next innovative dumper.
Man's best friend shouldn't be a co-conspirator in a sanitation felony. It's cynical, even for Sicily.
Let's keep running the lineup.
Tariff refunds could take years after the Supreme Court ruling, experts warn. Officials frame the process as orderly and fair. More than 1,000 companies have already sued the Trump administration, and analysts say the burden will fall hardest on small businesses now facing a long, costly wait for relief.
Police have searched ex-Prince Andrew's former home a day after his arrest. Officials stress he's neither charged nor cleared. But investigators are combing the property for evidence tied to the case, as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor remains under active investigation.
Views of corruption in the Philippines are worsening as grease money erodes public confidence. Officials insist reforms are on track. A global index shows the country posting its lowest ranking since 2012, deepening concerns over accountability and business trust.
Brazil's Lula says Maduro should face trial in Venezuela, not the United States. He frames it as respect for national sovereignty. But he argues the fate of the Venezuelan president must be decided by the people of Venezuela, rejecting what he calls foreign interference in the country's political process. A strike over labor reforms has brought Argentina's capital to a near standstill. Officials insist the bill is modernization. But the Chamber of Deputies is weighing changes that would extend work hours, cut severance pay, and make firings easier, triggering mass protests across Buenos Aires. China's Middle East arms edge is being overshadowed in Riyadh by Turkey and South Korea. Beijing pitches its systems as the region's future. But analysts say Turkish and South Korean platforms are drawing more interest as Gulf states diversify suppliers and seek faster, more flexible deals. That is the fold for this morning. We've audited the headlines, tracked the shifts, and cut through the noise, but the morning is only just beginning. Keep the conversation going in the comments below. From the global newsstand to your front door, I'm Jim Lee Cooper. Stay with the stories. This is The Breeze Front Page.